Warning. If you have the attention span of a 4-year-old, please click off. This is not TikTok. Thank you. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the easiest ways to lower your body fat percentage specifically for a defined face. The first point, which I want to get into, is going to be the easiest way. It's going to be walking. A lot of people don't realize this, but for aiming for specifically lowering your body fat percentage specifically, walking is almost the best, is literally the best way of losing it. Because not only does walking take less effort than running or running on a treadmill or doing high intensity cardio, is the fact that walking is low intensity and you can carry it out for longer periods of time. So if you're walking, let's say you can do, if you get on the treadmill and you can go at a speed of, I don't know, let's say 6 miles an hour. You can do that for 10 minutes. If you're walking, you could probably go for 30 minutes. Literally more than doubling the amount of cardio you're doing in that one specific session. And so a lot of people don't take advantage of this, but walking actually is one of the easiest ways to lower your body fat percentage. If you could get somewhere between, depending on your body weight, if you can get somewhere in between the range of 5,000 to 10,000 steps in a day, that's kind of like the average for someone who's trying to lower their body fat percentage. But depending on what your body type is and how much body fat you have, you could increase it or you could decrease it. But walking, getting your steps in, is one of the easiest ways to actually lower your body fat percentage specifically without losing muscle, if you have muscle on your frame and you don't want to lose it. So you need to take advantage of this. You need to walk every single day. Some people have this easy because they'll have a job that they need to go to. So instead of going to instead of taking a car or an Uber or cab, whatever, just walk. And a lot of athletes actually do this specifically when they're on a cut to actually lower their body fat percentage and to start showing off, start cutting that excess fat off and start showing their features more. So if you're not taking advantage of this, you need to start taking advantage of it now, especially for people who are skinny and they still have like a fat face. Because sometimes for certain people, especially men, we tend to hold fat in our faces more than the rest of our bodies. I think for men, it's usually their face and their stomach around their belly. That's usually where men hold the most fat. For women, they're lucky they can have a defined face and have the fat go to all the right places. Most of the time for women, it's their hips and their buttocks, their backside. But for men, it's usually the bad places that we hate, which is our faces and our stomachs. So sometimes you could even be skinny, but yet you could have that fat in your face. So sometimes the way to get rid of that is to actually start walking. When you walk, it's actually forcing your body to be in that burning stage for a longer period of time, because you can walk more than you can run or do high intensity cardio. Now, my second point for getting a more defined face and lowering your body fat would be to experiment. No, you know what? I'll say this first. First, you need to figure out how many carbs you're intaking every day. A lot of people won't realize this, but the foods you eat affect your body way more than you realize. And I'm not talking about gaining weight, but the foods that you're eating can affect your body. So let's say you're eating a lot of fatty, greasy, oily food, like fast food, burgers, fried chicken, fries, right? High salt, high oily foods. because that food has so much oil in it, it may now, once you're eating it, it may now cause you to start breaking out. Your face is now super oily. You start getting pimples everywhere. You start breaking out because your skin doesn't know what to do with all that excess oil. Your pores are clogged up. So that can actually cause you to look worse than if you were to just eat, healthy foods. I know it sounds cliche, but this has a big effect on how defined your face looks and what your perceived body fat percentage is. Because whether you realize this or not, people can actually be at a very high body fat percentage, and yet the way you perceive them, you would think they're lower. For example, someone who's at a body fat percentage of 20%, they can still have abs if they've worked their ass off with their abs. If they've been doing crunches, 1,000 crunches maybe not 1,000, 100 crunches a day every single day, and they're doing like 5 exercises for crunches every day in the gym, they're probably still gonna have a 6-pack. It'll be a faint 6-pack, but it'll still be a 6-pack. And that can actually make you perceive them as lower in their body fat percentage. This especially goes for women. Women, you would never know what body fat percentage is, what body fat percentage they have, because women don't tend to carry fat in their faces. And so because of the fact that they don't hold fat in their faces, they hold them in other places that they can easily cover up. That's how women are the easiest people that can catfish. You don't really see men being able to catfish, do you? Because if their fat face is messed up, then you can clearly, if a guy's fat, you can clearly see if they're fat or not, because they'll hold all the fat in their faces first before they hold it in their bodies. A woman could have the sharpest face looking possible, and then you zoom out, just a whale. Oh my God. So the fact is, you need to pay more attention to what you're eating. Specifically, you want to download an app called MyFitnessPal. This is one of the easiest apps to track everything you're eating and the macros and all the little things that you don't pay attention to. But if you're actually serious about getting a defined face and lowering your body fat percentage, you will want to have this app. If you already have this app, good, perfect. Now, if you already have the app, you want to start paying more attention to your carb intake. And no, I'm not talking about a keto diet or however many other different things. What you want to do specifically is you want to look at your carbs, your carbohydrates, and you want to make sure that they're below 100. Usually once you get below 100, in that below 100 range, or depending on you as a person, because the average is around, I don't know, I think the average American is like 200 to 300, something like that. It could be more. I'll put it up on the screen, but depending on you, it'll be different. But usually you want to get below 200, for athletes below 100. Once you start lowering your carbs, you'll notice that the water in your face, the water in your body will start like clearing out, especially when you drink more water. Do this plus drinking more water. Oh my God, it makes the biggest difference possible. It's a deadly combination. So what you want to do is you want to start taking more steps a day. What did I say before? Preferably from 5,000 to 10,000. If you could do more, do more. But don't overdo it, because if you're also working out in the gym, you don't want to lose muscle. So you want to walk, but don't overdo it. So walk more. You want to start checking and making sure that you're not eating a bunch of greasy food that can clog up your pores. And then you also want to start lowering your carbs. You need to do this in a smart way. You don't just drop your carbs from 500 to 50, because then you'll probably start I don't know what, probably start hallucinating or something. I don't know, but that's not healthy. You have to gradually do it slowly. So maybe one day you'll cut your carbs from 250 to 230. The next day you'll cut it from 230 to 200, maybe 210. You slowly, like, do it in increments. Increments. I don't know how to say that. Increments, you know what I'm talking about. But once you start doing that, like I've explained before in previous videos, all these little micro habits will start adding up. You may not notice it in the beginning. Ignore don't even expect anything from it. Just think, okay, this is easy, so I'm just gonna start lowering my carbs a little bit. I'm just gonna start walking. You won't notice, obviously. It's not gonna hurt you to take a couple extra steps, will it? It's not gonna hurt you to now just walk to work instead. Just think of it as you're being healthy. Don't expect anything from it. This will be the best part. Because you're not expecting anything from it, you'll continuously do it. If you look for an outcome, and you don't get that outcome, you're more likely to quit. And so you wanna think nothing of it. Just start doing these little things. Don't think anything of it. But guess what? 6 months down the line, a year down the line, you'll be wondering why people are coming up to you like, wait, why do you look different? Did you lose weight? What happened to your face? What happened to you? How come you look so different? Why is your skin so clear? Why is it so clear? Why you look so clean? That's when you'll start noticing. And that's the best time to notice. You don't want to you don't want to start over-analyzing every little detail about yourself. That'll ruin it. As a matter of fact, if you want to take it to the extreme, when I first started going to the gym, I was like a stick, by the way. When I first started going to the gym, I told myself, okay, I'm not going to look at myself in the mirror for 3 months. And I don't mean like not look at myself. Obviously, I have to brush my teeth and stuff. But I'm not going to overanalyze myself in the mirror for 3 months. Because I knew that 90 days was a time period of when you start seeing, progress. After 3 months, you'll start noticing little differences. 6 months is like, oh, okay, there's difference. After those 3 months, I decided to look. I was like, whoa. It was like I blew up overnight. Obviously, I wasn't blowing up overnight. I was still slowly gaining. But because I focused on not looking at myself for that long, it felt like I blew up overnight. And that's the best feeling. You do not want to hold yourself away from that feeling, because it's such a satisfying feeling. If you can focus on doing all this collective of good habits, these little micro habits, don't even think of them as a good habit. They're just micro habits. Don't think nothing of them. It'll start adding up, and slowly but surely, either you'll notice or other people will notice. It's better if other people notice. Let other people tell you. They'll notice. Unless you're antisocial and you're sitting in your house and you don't go out, but start going out if that's the case. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. You got some value out of these tips. If you did, make sure to like, comment. If you agree and you want to keep hearing more of me, subscribe. That's all I got for today.